hope that you're well. I'm here at the allotment. It's about 8 o'clock on Monday evening. It's the day before we're going to be experiencing very high temperatures over the next few days. I think here in the southeast they're threatening about 37 degrees, which is unimaginable at the moment. So this is a perfect temperature. This is wonderful. So a bit of an allotment update. This bed has got barricades in place. Yes, you've guessed it, it's the fox situation. Now, in here I've got some brassicas, which are looking okay. Now, these are not the original brassicas that I put in. I'll pop up a picture of my original ones and the demise of them. They did become the fox's playground. Thank you to my very lovely plot neighbours. They came to my rescue when they saw the damage and have given me some new plants, some calabrese. So in amongst the cosmos there, which is still growing in the wood chip, hopefully these ones will survive. I'll now show you how the previous brassicas got damaged. So my raspberries are doing really well now, managing to start harvesting those. My onions, they're about to flower, so as Monty said recently, once this happens, there is absolutely no point leaving them in the ground. So I will be harvesting those. There'll be a perfect time to dry over the next few days. My dwarf green beans have finally arrived. They look like they're being eaten a little bit. I think this is about the third sowing I've had. So yeah, they're a very welcome sight. My strawberries are sort of coming to an end now. Had an excellent harvest. Charlotte potatoes down here by the polytunnel. They're ready to also be harvested pretty soon. My Nagina tomatoes, they looked pretty sickly, but they are coming back now. I've given them a good feed. I'm bringing on some marigolds at home, so they need to go in. Right, let's go into the polytunnel, which is just sweet pepper central. I've put most of these into larger pots now, and they're doing fine. These ones that are the slightly lighter colour, these are the ones that I grew from my saved seed last year, and a few more in the corner there. I've put up 2 shade cloths now, which definitely works. I know it would be better if they were on the outside of the polytunnel, but I can't do that. That seemed like a massive job. This was so simple, just slotting them over the centre bit. And I was here yesterday when it was pretty warm, and it was definitely keeping the plants in shade. Got a couple of climbing beans, they're the Blauhilde ones. Tomato plants I've also popped in there. It was a case of too many tomato plants as usual, where can I stick them? At the carrot box, I'm fairly certain the moment I open the lid I'm going to be greeted by some bindweed. Oh yes, there's some in the corner there. Not as much as I expected there to be. But yeah, I think we've got some new carrots coming up. What I tend to do, I have done for the last couple of years, is as soon as I empty a potato bucket, I keep the compost in it and throw in some carrot seeds. And that's worked the last couple of years. The carrots aren't enormous, but it's given me a little crop of smaller ones. Cauliflowers. Now, yeah, I could see this, and this is quite exciting actually. I arrived yesterday. It's funny, you look at your beds, but sometimes you don't look at your beds, if that makes sense. And yeah, I've actually got pretty good cauliflowers coming there. Amazingly, the foxes seem to have left this bed pretty much alone. Yeah, that one was the one that they favoured the most. And my sweet corn. How this has survived is incredible. I'll show you a piece of film. All I can think that it is that these metal grids are pretty sturdy, but even so, yeah, it's incredible that they're still surviving and upright. I'm using these two little round tubs, one for beetroot, which is very slow at the moment. Maybe that's normal, but I'm pretty sure it's further along normally. And my lettuce bed, I've got some more plants to go in there. I'm not going to risk putting them in tonight because they just bake up over the next couple of days. They're happier in the greenhouse at home. I've placed my two blueberry plants bushes here just so that they're not going to be again baked in the heat. Yeah, I've harvested quite a few blueberries. I've got a recipe for my muffins. I'll post a link to the video in the description below. It's a really nice, easy recipe. Obviously, if you don't like blueberries, you can substitute it for whatever fruit you like or chocolate. And my gorgeous calla lily. And I think this one's called Captain Scarlet. It's so ironic, really. This one is just shoved in this pot and it gets poked behind the greenhouse when it dies down. And I basically neglect it. The ones at home, which I cosset and, you know, move about and feed and do all that, they grow, but this just thrives on neglect. And the sweet peas, they are climbing up that little bit of wire that I just shoved in there to help support them. I'm sure they'd be happier if they were somewhere else on the plot and not next to the bin and all my potato pots, but you know, it will be a little bit of colour there. So I'm letting the asparagus just grow now. It was the first year that I could harvest from it and it was absolutely delicious. But I think I read somewhere that it's a good idea to not sort of totally deplete it and let it establish a bit more. Right, let's look at these onions. As I said, definitely going to flower, which we don't want because that's going to put all the energy into the flower. not going to help the bulb at all. So now I should really go and get a tool, but I'm just going to, because the compost is pretty soft, I'm just going to see. Not the biggest, it's got a nice thick stem, but not the biggest of onions. So I've heaped all the onions just in a tray there at the moment. They can start to dry out. They do need spreading out more than that, but I've got a bit of an issue with the staging in my polytunnel. I may have mentioned this before. It sort of dips in the middle. It leans back as well. I made it as one long piece and realised that was a mistake. It needs cutting down and having it in two sections. Now, it's a First Tunnels polytunnel, and the people there are just fabulous. So I got in touch with them and asked if they could send me some clips so that I can attach the staging properly. So these arms actually need a length of wood on them. Arms, legs, they're really legs, aren't they? So I need to take all of this off at some point, cut the staging down. Thanks to Danny at the Grow Up channel, it's his staging that made me realise how wrong I'd got my staging. But going back to the people at First Tunnels, I got in touch with them, and they were just so kind, and they said straight away, how many clips do you want? We'll get them in the post to you. So I have got them all here ready, and when the allotment doesn't feel like a oven, I will be bringing down my saw, and that's a project. So from now on, the polytunnel doors are left open, fully open, both ends, in the hope that there's a bit of a blow through. It's such a small polytunnel that I do think that some ventilation gets in. These doors that I made a couple of years ago, they've been invaluable. Otherwise, I think I'd end up with foxes in there as well. Okay, 2 bits of advice if you like to have nail varnish and you enjoy gardening. First one is, during this time of year, as much as I love red, don't get red. Because when you're searching for berries, strawberries, raspberries, it's really distracting. You see a flash of red and you realise, no, it's not fruit, it's actually your fingernails. So yeah, note to self, choose a different colour. And the other thing is, I'm sure like all gardeners, even if you wear gloves, you tend to get mucky fingernails. Now, I've tried putting a pair of like latex gloves under my gardening gloves. All that does is make your hands feel sweaty and yucky. But this sort of works, strange as it is. Now, I've brought you in here because in this container I have a bar of soap, and not everyone would like this, but I've discovered if I scratch the bar of soap so that it's builds up in my nails, and then I put my gardening gloves on, it actually stops some of the dirt getting into my nails, and also makes it way easier when you go home and give them a good wash and clean your nails. So yeah, give it a go if you're struggling or just a bit fed up of constantly having mucky fingernails. So I feel like I'm on top of most of the things at the allotment at the moment. Just coming up in these evenings and spending a couple of hours doing the beds, I feel it's made a big difference. The light is beginning to fade now, so it's time that I walk home. It's 8 minutes from plot to home. Sometimes a little bit longer if I'm tired, so that's good. But anyway, thank you for joining me this week on the allotment, and also thank you for watching and for the likes, and welcome to the new subscribers. You may have joined me through my videos at the home garden. I'll be back doing a video there next week. But yeah, thank you, and thank you to those who have been with me since the beginning. I really do appreciate it. So until next time, make sure you take care now.